How a woman feels when she realizes she lost you. High-value men must know. When a woman finally understands that she has lost a high-value man, it's not just a fleeting emotion, it's a deep and profound awakening. She doesn't just miss your presence. She comes to terms with the reality that she let something irreplaceable slip through her fingers. Every quality she once overlooked, every moment she failed to appreciate, suddenly becomes painfully clear. This isn't merely regret. It's an undeniable confrontation with the fact that some losses can't be undone. Stick around, because what she goes through is far more intense than most realize, and understanding this can transform how you handle relationships moving forward. Section 1. The initial shock and denial. The first wave of emotions she experiences is a chaotic mix, like an unexpected storm. At first, she may not even fully recognize the weight of what she's lost. Her ego convinces her that it's not a big deal, that she'll move on just fine without you. But as the silence of your absence grows louder, her mind starts racing, trying to make sense of what has happened. This shock is abrupt, like a jolt that shakes her to the core, as she suddenly realizes she has let something valuable slip away. It blindsides her, because in her mind, she never truly believed you would walk away, or that she would be left only with the memories of what once was. In this phase, she replays past moments over and over, searching for the exact point where things began to unravel. She scrolls through old messages, stares at photos, and mentally revisits conversations, desperately clinging to any detail that might help her rationalize what went wrong. While her pride may still whisper that she's better off, a deeper part of her battles against this illusion. With each passing day, suppressing these memories becomes harder, as they resurface with increasing clarity. This initial shock serves as a brutal wake-up call, one that forces her to acknowledge she lost someone with qualities she may never find again. It's not just that she misses you. It's the raw realization that she may have driven away one of the best things that ever happened to her. The pain isn't only about losing a partner. It shatters her perception of herself. Doubts creep in. Did I misjudge him? Did I make the wrong choice? These questions linger, fueling a powerful mix of regret and uncertainty. She finds herself struggling against the same ego that once assured her she didn't need you. But as reality sinks in, that false confidence crumbles. Losing you was never part of her plan, and now she's left wondering if she will ever find someone who measures up to what she had with you. Section 2. The comparison game begins. As the shock begins to fade, she unknowingly enters a cycle of endless comparisons. Every man she meets becomes a reflection of what she lost, a measuring stick against which she evaluates the impact and depth you had in her life. She may start dating again, trying to move forward, but something feels off. An invisible presence lingers over every interaction. That presence is you. With each new encounter, she begins to analyze whether these men share the qualities she once had but took for granted. Does he have the patience you did? The ambition you carried? The emotional strength that made her feel secure? These questions become persistent, and as she navigates new relationships, she slowly realizes just how rare the qualities you possess truly are. This stage goes beyond simple observations. It's an introspective journey where she begins to grasp what truly matters in a man. When she meets someone who lacks your ability to stay calm in tough moments, who doesn't share your drive, or who isn't as emotionally intelligent as you were, she feels the weight of her mistake even more. Your resilience, your discipline, and your ability to navigate life with purpose, things she once overlooked, now stand out as traits that are nearly impossible to replace. She'll even start noticing differences in how other men treat their relationships, comparing their approach to commitment, loyalty, and emotional depth with yours. And as she watches these men fall short time and time again, an ache grows inside her, a silent but powerful void that reminds her of what she lost. The more she realizes how difficult it is to find someone with your depth, the stronger her regret becomes. Through this process, she comes to understand that a high-value man is more than just a title. It's a way of being, a mindset built on deep-rooted values and principles. And in recognizing this, she also starts to appreciate, in hindsight, just how rare you were. The regret deepens with each passing day, because no matter how many people she meets, the absence of your presence lingers like a shadow. Section 3. Regret and self-reflection. By the time she reaches the stage of true regret, distractions no longer work. She isn't interested in dating around or using temporary fixes to numb the emptiness. Instead, she finds herself face to face with the raw truth. She didn't just lose you. She lost a version of herself that once had access to something rare. In moments of solitude, she starts breaking down every choice she made, every argument she let escalate, every small action that pushed you away. The dismissiveness, the lack of appreciation, the emotional walls. These things begin to weigh on her as she realizes just how much they contributed to this outcome. She starts questioning herself in ways she never did before. Asterisk, did I truly value him? Was my pride more important than the relationship? Asterisk. This stage is not fleeting. It's an ache that lingers, gnawing at her mind with every passing day. She replays scenarios where she could have chosen to be more understanding, where she could have appreciated you more, where she could have nurtured what you both had instead of letting it slip away. It's a painful realization, one that forces her to confront her own emotional immaturity and insecurities. Through this reflection, she recognizes that what you offered wasn't just love, it was stability, integrity, and principles that are not easily found. You weren't just a partner, you were a foundation, someone who stood firm in who you were. And now, for the first time, she understands the magnitude of what she let go. The journey of losing a high-value man isn't just about longing. It's about coming to terms with a truth she was never prepared to face. The truth that some losses are permanent. Some men, once gone, never return. And as that realization settles in, she comes to understand that moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means carrying the weight of a lesson she learned too late. Section 4. The desire to reconnect. As the weight of regret grows heavier, the idea of reaching out to you starts to consume her thoughts. It doesn't happen overnight. At first, she convinces herself she's fine. But deep down, she knows she isn't. Each day that passes without you only amplifies the void, and suddenly, the idea of reconnecting feels less like an option and more like a necessity. She starts thinking about how she could possibly initiate contact without seeming desperate. Maybe a simple message to check in, a casual like on one of your posts, perhaps a conversation disguised as nostalgia, mentioning an old memory just to see if you'll respond. These tactics aren't random. They're deliberate attempts to test the waters, to gauge whether there's still a path back to what she lost. But even as she contemplates reaching out, an internal battle unfolds. A part of her fears that you've moved on, that you no longer see her the same way. The thought of you being with someone else sends a sharp pang through her chest. She wonders if she still holds a place in your mind the way you dominate hers. The uncertainty is excruciating, and the longer she waits, the more difficult it becomes to take action. If she does finally muster the courage to contact you, her approach is often cautious, wrapped in subtlety to protect her pride. She won't immediately admit she regrets everything. Instead, she'll tread carefully, testing to see if you're still receptive. But deep inside, she's hoping for one thing: a chance to rewrite the past, to fix what was broken, and to regain what she so carelessly let go. Section 5. The harsh reality hits. Whether she reaches out or not, there comes a moment where reality delivers its final, unfiltered truth. If you've truly moved on, mentally, emotionally, or even physically with someone new, she's left with nothing but the consequences of her choices. And this is where the full weight of the loss crashes down on her. She realizes that some doors, once closed, never reopen. that not every man will stand waiting for her to change her mind. This moment of reckoning is brutal because it forces her to accept something she never anticipated, that she gambled with something valuable and she lost. At this stage, she may try to convince herself that she'll find someone else, but deep down, she knows the truth. It's not just about finding another man, it's about finding another you. And that, she now understands, is nearly impossible. The pain of losing a high-value man isn't just about missing a relationship. It's about missing the version of herself that existed when she was with you. The one who had access to your strength, your wisdom, and your presence. And once that's gone, it leaves a void that no temporary distractions can fill. She may eventually move forward, but that lingering thought will always remain. What if I had done things differently? What if I had seen his worth sooner? These questions won't fade because some lessons are learned too late. And that's the reality of what a woman feels when she realizes she lost a high-value man. It's not just longing. It's a permanent awareness of the rare opportunity she let slip away. Section 6. The lingering reminders. Even as she tries to accept reality, reminders of you keep surfacing in her daily life. These aren't just fleeting thoughts. They're deeply ingrained triggers that unexpectedly bring back the emotions she's been trying to suppress. A song she once associated with you plays on the radio, and suddenly, she's transported back to a moment you shared. A place you both used to visit crosses her path, and the memories flood in without warning. It's not just the obvious reminders that affect her. It's the subtle ones, the small details she never realized would hold such weight. Maybe it's a phrase you used to say, now spoken by someone else, or a scent that instantly revives the feeling of being close to you. Each of these moments serves as a quiet but powerful echo of the bond she lost. She may try to distract herself, burying her thoughts in new experiences, but avoidance doesn't erase the emotional imprint you left on her. Instead, these reminders become persistent, appearing when she least expects them and forcing her to relive what she let go of. As time goes on, she begins to understand something profound. Some people leave marks that can't be erased. And you were one of those people. Section 7. The growing sense of emptiness. At first, she may have believed she could simply move on. That time would dull the pain and new experiences would replace old ones. But the deeper she goes into this journey, the more she realizes that nothing truly fills the void you left behind. This isn't just about loneliness. It's about the specific emptiness that comes from losing a man who truly understood her. A man who saw her, valued her, and provided a sense of security she took for granted. She starts to recognize that it's not just about having another relationship. It's about the kind of presence you brought into her life. The way you made her feel protected, admired, and challenged to be better. No one else has been able to replicate that feeling, and with each failed attempt to replace you, the emptiness only grows stronger. She may try to convince herself that she's fine, but deep down, she knows the truth. She had something rare, something meaningful, and she let it slip away. Section 8. Realizing the depth of her mistakes. In the quiet moments of reflection, she finally confronts the undeniable truth. Losing you wasn't just an accident. It was the result of her own choices. It wasn't just one big mistake, but a series of small ones. Moments where she dismissed your efforts, took your presence for granted, or failed to appreciate your value. She remembers the times she let her pride dictate her actions, when she ignored your patience and loyalty, assuming you would always be there. The memories that once felt insignificant now weigh heavily on her, each one a painful reminder of the opportunities she wasted. The hardest part of this realization is knowing that she can't change the past. She can't undo the words left unsaid, the moments she let slip by, or the way she underestimated what she had. This stage is humbling because, for the first time, she fully understands the role she played in her own loss. And that realization is one of the hardest things to live with. Section 9. The desire to improve herself. If there's one thing that comes out of this painful journey, it's the realization that she must change. She now understands that her past mindset and actions led to losing something valuable, and she doesn't want to make the same mistake again. This newfound awareness pushes her towards self-improvement. She starts examining the flaws she once ignored: her communication style, her emotional maturity, and her ability to truly appreciate a good man. She may begin reading about relationships, seeking advice, or even reflecting more deeply on what it means to nurture a meaningful connection. But deep down, she knows this transformation is bittersweet, because the lesson she's learning now is one she should have understood when she still had you. And though she may grow from it, the truth remains: her realization came too late. By the time she fully grasps what she lost, she also understands that some mistakes don't come with second chances. The regret she feels isn't just about you. It's about the version of herself that failed to recognize your worth in time. You were more than just a man in her life. You were a standard, a reflection of what true value looks like. And while she may move on, she will never forget the impact you had on her. Some losses are permanent, and losing a high-value man like you is one she will carry with her, silently but deeply, for the rest of her life.